we had 6 or 7 in the first 10 possessions, and you're just not going to be able to win like that. So luckily, as the game went on, we just took better care of it. We adjusted to, they were physical. They were really into us defensively. We calmed down, got to better spacing. I thought a lot of them were spacing related, and also just trying to be too cute, too clever in small spaces, and they just took it from us. So.
With a 53% from deep, how pleased were you with just the way that everyone seemed to have the right night in the hot hand?
Yeah, I thought that if we were to just, get to good space, calm down, don't fight when they overplay, backdoor, open up something for your teammate. When you go to the paint where there's a crowd, make a kick out. It's just simple basketball stuff we've been doing really well. But we started that game, trying to kind of fight the way they were guarding us, so it didn't work.
Kyle had that big contest on the last Clay shot there. You opted to roll with him to close the game. One, your thoughts on that his defense on that play, and two, the choice to go between him and Nas.
Yeah, it was just defensive matchups. At that point, I wanted to try to take the 3 out of the game as much as I possibly could, particularly with how dangerous they are. Emergency switching, being able to guard just one more guy that could guard Steph if they got stuck there. And then, offensively, he was really good for us, too. Just putting the ball in his hands felt really safe. So that was a decision. Nothing against Nas. So.
In the first half, it was kind of all Ant and Nas offensively,
yeah.
And then the trio of point guards in the second half, the end of third quarter, early fourth, J-Mac, Morris, everyone was just hitting those threes. But that group, what did they give here?
They were great. I mean, that unit that started the fourth was awesome. It just moved the ball and, just kind of made the simple play, right play for each other. Monte was excellent. He had a big shot. He had a couple nice passes. Found Ant at one point. He found Rudy, rolling on a lob. J-Mac hit a big one when Ant found him right in front of that kind of sparked us, I think, a little bit when the game had kind of gone back to them. But, yeah, I mean, those guys. And then Mike, stepped up and did the things that he's been doing for us. You could see offensively we missed layups, we missed open shots, we turned it over. We looked like we were kind of, stuck in the mud a little to start the game, but guys just kept pushing through it.
Is this one of those matchups where the size shows up maybe more than any others? It just seems like they don't have an answer for Rudy.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, he was pretty dominant in there, I thought. I wouldn't say that. I mean, this is a team that Golden State's a team that's seen it all. I think we got guys that can chase around, and Rudy gives it just enough help, And then offensively, he was really good, just getting to the offensive glass, taking advantage of our size there. So,
what are the advantages? Just when you have a size advantage, just a player who's smart enough to know exactly how to use it.
Yeah.
He seems like he can use it in 10 different ways with spacing and hitting
Rudy?
the glass. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's been big his whole life. So he stays patient. I think that's what he's really developed this year. Is his patience. Like when the ball's not in his hands, his better spacing, picking his moments to duck in, picking his moments to crash at the right time. Guys trust him when he's rolling through the pocket. So that to me has been the biggest difference in his offensive game between this year and last year. So.
First 18 minutes of the game, it seemed like Draymond was giving you guys fits in terms of what was he doing that was so effective, do you think? Or was it just your...
Well, he made a couple threes, so, I think...
But, I mean, just on defense, too, it just seemed like defense. His communication or whatever,
Yeah, I mean, listen, they've played defense with him as like a free safety. Ever since he's been there, he's outstanding at it. They were swarming every roll, every drive. He was right there to stop up the action. 3 on the ball, and we just didn't have very good spacing around that. Like we were trying to you know, we just were not patient enough off the ball. So, you know, so that was probably the biggest thing. I mean, of course, a little bit, yeah. I mean, we we play a lot more spread lineups, you know. You know, we're not trying to. I don't think I've called a post up play for a while, you know. You know, we're playing a little bit faster in transition. You know, I think we have like multiple handlers out there to be able to initiate, and the ball's kind of, you know, flowing through everyone's hands a little bit earlier through that. So yeah, I mean, we've played this way a lot last year, so we're pretty comfortable with it. So.
Along those lines, your highest volume 3-point games have all pretty much come in this stretch here with Carl out.
Yeah.
Is it just kind of a product of what you were just talking about, or was this a conscious effort maybe when you guys were talking about what things would look like, you know, as Carl recovers?
Yeah, I mean, we just, you know, I've always been a big believer that the shooting comes from the spacing, right? Like if we space well and we create the right advantages, then we should be able to get to the right shots from the 3-point line. I mean, Nas is committed to taking 8 threes a game. You know, Ant took 8. So guys are just committed to taking the 3, and particularly when it's been created for them. And that's really, we haven't made a conscious decision to say, hey, we need to shoot more threes because Cat's not here. It's like it's just a byproduct of our spacing.
Have you seen a growth in maturity on this team since maybe a year ago at this time or so?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we still have ways to go. I think, you know, in that game right there, we did a really good job of figuring out how to close it out. No breakdowns down the stretch. Executed extremely well. Those were things that we didn't necessarily do consistently last year. But, you know, we got to still make some small plays, box outs at the end of games. We had a number of possessions where we let them have second chance opportunities. You know, just kind of little things like that. Just we have to keep tightening them up because that's been a little bit of a habit for us, is giving up offensive rebounds in the last, you know, possession or two of a game. So, thank you.